Gentlemen, ladies, welcome back. Sandamtod here. Beardtastic as normal. Actually, last weekend I went to this thing. It was a club meeting. My brother-in-law kind of drugged me to it. He had found out about this club online. It's called the Beard and Mustache Enthusiast Club. It's a real thing, folks, if you can believe it, at least in Kansas City. I know there's different branches here and there. But these dudes, like, grow out their facial hair and do these, like, competitions and shit and can win prizes. I can't even compete. I mean, there's dudes with fucking beards down to their asshole and that's wrapping through the legs, I guess. And then big-ass handlebar mustaches and shit. My brother-in-law's got a lot more facial hair than I am. He's the one that really wanted to do it, but he didn't really know anybody this first time he was going, and we went to like a improv comedy club kind of deal and had some dinner and stuff and things like that, and it was pretty cool. I'll probably go here and there, but I don't think I'm enough of a beard enthusiast to qualify me being part of the group. As a matter of fact, I've been thinking about not completely shaving it, but shaving it back down to its normal kind of length, because it's getting kind of bushy and just getting kind of ratty looking. Even if I, groom it every day and shower and stuff, it really needs to be trimmed and stuff. And I just don't want to put that much time into it. Plus, it's got a lot of gray in it. Not that I'm vain, but I guess I am sort of a little bit. I mean, shit, I'm a 37-year-old guy. I'm not that old. I'm not that young, but I'm not that old. So, I don't necessarily mind sporting the gray a little bit, but, I don't want to be mistaken for somebody that's 10 years older than they really are either. Neither here nor there. I mean, that really doesn't matter a shitting bit of difference why you're here. And the reason why you're here is I actually got some pickups. This is kind of a little bit of an amalgam of a few different trips and just kind of picking up stuff for like the month. I know I've seen guys like Big Daddy Darth and a couple other guys, that'll just buy stuff over the course of a month and do a month video. And this isn't a whole lot of stuff, but it's enough that I think it warrants, a video. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to try to do a couple of game reviews. I'm going to try to do them clean. No spoilers. I'm not going to show a lot of footage or the ending or anything of the games. But I need to review Singularity and Arkham Asylum for you. I actually beat both of those. I've actually been kind of on a tear lately. I beat Dead Space 1 and 2 and finished Singularity and Arkham Asylum like in the last month and a half. So that's actually pretty impressive for me. I don't usually finish a game every week and a half or 2 weeks. So we've kind of been whipping them out. But I've got a couple little things I want to talk about on those games. Not necessarily bad things, but we'll get into it in those videos. There's no reason to drag it up here. So we're going to get started. It's kind of a mixed bounty here. Some of it's from GameStop, some of it's from Vintage Stock, some of it's from the pawn shop, some of it's from the thrift store. So we'll kind of try to set it up the way I feel it should best be gone through. So anyway, we'll get started here. Let me see. Okay, first things first, games. PlayStation 1 games. Somebody had turned in their collection up at the thrift store or something. I found 2 Black Label and 2 kind of greatest hits, but the reason why I picked up one of these greatest hits, you'll see here in a second. But the first 2 Black Labels I got were Tony Hawk Pro Skater Black Label. I think I have this as a greatest hits version. So this one will gladly replace the green on the front, the greatest hits. Tony Hawk 3 on the PlayStation 2 is probably still my favorite all time, but Tony Hawk, the original one, was the first one I ever saw, and I didn't even see it until I had a PlayStation 2. So, and to go with that one, I also got Tony Hawk 2 Black Label. These, I don't really remember prices. If I had to guess, I'd say they were $3 or under, because I wouldn't pay that much for them. I won't pay $5 for a PlayStation game unless it's something that I consider rare, or that is rare and tradable. So anyway, these aren't going to be traded because these two are going to go in my collection, but they're Black Label. And they looked in good shape, and I'm saying probably $1.99, maybe $2.99, but I doubt I paid over $3 for them, especially because I bought four of them. So as you can tell, this was probably a couple of weeks ago, because I really don't remember that well. I do know this one, they had the sequel as well, but it was missing one of the discs. I hate when they do that at a thrift store. They don't know that it's missing discs or something. They try to sell it anyway. I usually try to tell them, but usually when I go back, I find that same game back in the freaking bin. So it's just like, well, whatever. But anyway, this game, I always thought about playing it back in the day when I had my PlayStation 1, but I never really dug it. I mean, I never really dug it enough to really check it out, but I went ahead and picked it up now. And it's the greatest hits version, but it's the game Siphon Filter. I think I've seen this. I haven't really ever played it. And to be honest, who knows if it's going to get a lot of play in my system. But it was in good shape, and it was probably $2 or $3. They had Siphon Filter 2 in like a dual case. I don't know how many. I'm assuming it had at least two discs. And it only had one disc. I think it even said 2 discs on the back. Sometimes it'll say like down the bottom, 2 discs or whatever. And so that one, was only one. So I went and picked it up. And then the final one I picked up, PlayStation. These were all at the same thrift store. Greatest hits version of Resident Evil 2. Now, the reason why I picked up this is because this one's actually analog and vibration compatible. The greatest hits version is. And the original version, Black Label version, is not vibration and analog compatible. I know it's not vibration compatible, but I'm pretty sure it's not analog compatible either. And so I went and picked it up. This is one of the good dual cases that's not, the big fatty. And this has both discs. Both of them looked in good shape. And like I said, the reason why I got this is the greatest hits. This one does say the 2 discs right there. I'm not going to get it too close to the camera and get out of focus, but because of that analog compatibility and vibration. So we've got 4 games. I'm going to assume they were $2 a piece. High-end 3 max, but I doubt I would have paid over $10 for these 4 games, which makes me think they're probably $1.99, and I got them for like $8, because that sounds more like what I would pay. So anyway, I got those in one go. I didn't really think those worthy enough to do a pickups video over, though. But whatever. And then I don't want to skip architecture of aggression. I went by the pawn shop. I found a couple games that these kind of came out in kind of early in the lifespan of the 360, and so you could definitely tell over time how they had improved their games over time, the graphics and stuff. But I did start playing one of them, and I pulled it back out again because obviously I was trying to finish Batman Arkham Asylum, but I did put an hour or so into one of these. But this one is not the one I put an hour or so into. I don't know what I paid. Pawn shop prices, probably $6 or $7 max. I don't pay over 10 for anything from the pawn shop usually. But the first one I picked up was Ninja Gaiden 2, or Gaiden or whatever the hell you want to call it, 2. I liked the Ninja Gaiden, whatever, Black on the Xbox, and so I thought I'd give this one a whirl. I did play it for a few minutes, and it seemed like kind of similar to Ninja Gaiden Black, so we look forward to kind of giving this a little bit of a go. I'm kind of a hack and slash, kind of make your way through some levels type of guy, so this will probably jive with what I like. Like I said, probably $6.99 or something like that. And then this one I really actually kind of started getting into and kind of had to pull myself back from it, but I'll probably jump to it here pretty quick. And that is, actually I have a receipt in here. Hold on. I paid $6.99 and $7.99 for this one, I guess. But I guess I was more interested in this title, so I was willing to pay for it. But that's Prince of Persia. This is not the one based on the movie. This is kind of a reboot of the series, sort of, in a way. Every generation, it seems like, gets its own Prince of Persia game. But this one seemed really cool, and I did play it for an hour or so, and I'm looking forward to playing it more. I was really enjoying it. But I've always enjoyed most of the Prince of Persia games. I have not played the one that was based on the movie. It seems kind of ridiculous to have a game that's made from a movie that was based on a game. So I just can't imagine that it's worth much of nothing. But anyway, did I show this? I don't even know if I did. Complete. And like I said, I was digging this, so we'll get back to this one. So that's 2 360 games. And then I was like, well, I could make a video of that, but this weekend I went out and I picked up some stuff at Vintage Stock, and I did go to GameStop on like Thursday last week. I had an inkling that I was getting close to the end of Arkham Asylum, and or at least I was going to be prepared for, if I beat Arkham Asylum, to go right into the next one, and that's what I picked up. I picked up the Game of the Year edition Arkham City, and it's pretty smooth transition from one to the next. I didn't have to wait, 2 years between games or whatever. I remember when this came out, people were like, loved it, but some people were like, well, it pretty much felt exactly like I was playing Arkham Asylum, and so they weren't as thrilled with it. But going straight into it from Arkham Asylum, I really dig it, and this is what I'm trying to muscle through right now. This did come with all the DLC on disc. It's no download codes, except for one thing was downloadable, and that's the Batman Year One digital movie, which it says expires in like 2 months anyway to download it live on Xbox Live. So the Harley Quinn's Revenge, the Catwoman pack, the Robin thing, all that stuff came with this on the disc and installed on the hard drive. So that was pretty sweet. It's a 2-disc game, and you'll love the instruction book. This is how cheap it's gotten nowadays, folks. This is the instruction book. It ain't no fucking book. It's a leaflet. There's no staples in the goddamn instruction book. There's nothing. It basically tells you the rating of the game and tells you if you got freaking seizure problems, you ought to watch what you're doing. And that's it. Online manual, and that's all it says. It says, to see a list of the full manual, please visit BatmanArkhamCity.com. This is their fucking manual. One page folded in half. They also included a catalog of a bunch of Batman shit they're hawking, like action figures, hats, controllers, soundtrack, 3D glasses. The figures look pretty cool, but they probably want like more than I'm willing to pay for them. Some t-shirts, shit like that. Basically, this thing is about 10 or 12 pages stapled, and the actual instruction book is I guess, the protective sleeve for the catalog. So I was kind of like, peh. When I opened that up and saw that, I was kind of like, well, I looked at it enough to think that it was the instruction book, that it was an actual book, and that is the book. That's it. That's what it is, and it's just ridiculous. Then the guy at GameStop, every time, I don't buy games at GameStop very often. I started going in there because it seemed like on this gen games, instead of going to vintage stock, if I went to GameStop, I could get them for a few bucks cheaper. Like, if the game was going to cost me $14.99 at vintage stock, it might only cost me $11.99 or something at GameStop. And I don't have the GameStop cards or anything. I've got like an introductory little card thing, and the guy, of course, is like, do you have your card? And I'm like, no, because I never use it anyway, even when I go there. And the guy, because I don't go there, maybe once every couple of months I'll go there. Usually I bet, sorry, that was kind of rude. Usually I buy games directly off of Amazon, brand new, and get them for just as cheap as if I go to GameStop. So usually I don't even go to GameStop, but I did go to GameStop for this. And, you know, I get up to the counter, and the guy up there's like, oh, that's a great game, da 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 da. Did you finish the other one? Yeah. He's like, oh, you're going to love this one, da 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 da. But then he goes through his big spiel. When I said I don't have my card, he's like, well, I can check your phone number. So I'm like, what the shit? And I rattle off my phone number, you know, because a lot of times it's just like, nah, don't worry about it, you know, screw it. This guy proceeded to try to upsell me the prescription thing for like freaking 4 or 5 minutes. And I kept saying, nah, man. And then he'd go, yeah, but if you get it now and this and you get this discount, it's almost like getting the subscription for free and da-da-da-da-da. And I told the guy no like 5 times. And finally at the end of it, he was just like, okay, man, it's your call. I'm just trying to save you some money. There was something wrong with me because I didn't want it. And I was just like, man, just sell me my fucking game and let me get out the door. You know? Now, don't get me wrong, at GameStop, I went there on my lunch break, which is like, you know, 12:30, 1-ish in the afternoon, and there's usually a different dude working there, and he's usually in his 20s, and he seems like he's a gamer. He plays a lot of games, knows a lot about games. He'll just ask you, hey, man, what are you looking for? And then you're like, I don't know, I'm just looking, and he's like, well, what do you like? And then he'll start naming off some things in that general area and stuff. He's never tried to upsell me a subscription or anything. Seems like a cool dude, but they got those guys at night, man, trained when the younger kids are going to come in, man. Sell that fucking prescription thing, or subscription, not prescription. They're selling prescriptions out of the back. But I don't dig it, man. You know, if I say no once and you go again, the second time I say no should be an indicator that I'm done. And just sell it to me and just be done, you know. I had to do that with a guy one time. I'm not really, I sometimes come off kind of ranty on here and seem kind of, but, you know, I'm a pretty mellow guy. But I remember one time I was going with my mom to a JCPenney. I don't go to JCPenney that often, but we're going to JCPenney to go out to buy something for Father's Day for my grandfather before he passed. And before my mom passed. And in order to get to the JCPenney, you had to walk through Sears. Well, there's a guy in Sears trying to sell, like, windows or something. You know, like triple pane glass windows or something. He walks up to me, he starts talking to me, and I look him straight in the face. The first thing I say to him is, sorry, man, not interested. I don't own my house. I rent. And then he proceeds to keep following me and talking to me, and he's like, well, maybe you could tell your landlord about this. It's a pretty good deal, la-da-da-da-da. And, you know, normally but I guess I was just having a bad day or whatever. I just turned to the guy and I said, look, I'm done. Done. Like that. Because he started to say something else. I said, I don't want to hear no more about your windows. I ain't buying your windows. And sell your windows to somebody else. I didn't cuss at the guy. I did raise my voice slightly. But I was like, dude, I'm done. You know, when I tell you once, you know, that should be an indicator. If I come back again and say no, then it's done. You know, and when he started to go again, I'm just like, I'm done. motherfucker. I didn't say that, but that's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, come on, what does it take, you know? That's off track too. We're talking about video games. So finally, actually I have a movie here too. Finally, I beat Arkham Asylum, and so now I'm into Arkham City, and it's cool. It's really cool. If you're a Batman fan, I don't know why you haven't played it or whatever. I'm a passive Batman fan, and I really dig both of these games, so it's pretty cool. But I'll get into that in the review of Arkham Asylum. So anyway, I go out and visit my sister, and I'm talking to her over the weekend to see the kids and stuff. My niece's 5th birthday's coming up, and you know, I sometimes will rip movies off that I have on DVD and take them over to them on a flash drive or whatever, so they can watch movies and stuff. They haven't bought new movies or whatever, but I went over there and was just kind of bumming around, and got my brother-in-law's media player to work, so he needed some codec updates and things like that, but he didn't know what to download, and sometimes that's kind of iffy. You never know if you're getting hook into something that's got something in it shouldn't have, or, you know, something. So you really got to be careful. So I've kind of really I reformatted this system back here in my bedroom, cleaned it up, reformatted the whole thing, reinstalled everything, and was really, really selective of what I put back on there. I haven't had a freaking problem with it since. But it got something on there, and I'm pretty sure it was through like a codec bundle pack that I downloaded. It said like Windows Vista codec pack or something. And so I won't download anything unless it's from the official site anymore. I just won't do it. It's not worth it. That's neither here nor there. But when I was leaving, it was about 7:30. And they were gonna, you know, have an evening or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'll go over and visit the Vintage Stock and Liberty. I usually have pretty good luck over there, you know. And I went in there and started looking around. Didn't see a whole lot right off the bat. And I was like, yeah, this is just like every other time I've gone in the last 2 or 3 months. I just haven't had anything. It seems like since back before, like, Thanksgiving, you know, it seems like really I haven't seen much. But I saw this. This is a game I've passed on a couple of times. But the price was right, and it was complete. So I decided to pick it up. It's not the greatest game, but I've played this game, and it's a little bit of fun. It's kind of a rip-off Sonic the Hedgehog kind of thing. Can you guess what it is? I know you'll probably know it when I show it. Bubsy. Bubsy. Claws Encounters of the Furred Kind. $3.99. Complete. And this is a good box. These early on when they made the cardboard boxes, they actually made boxes. I mean that have corn, you know, and it's a lid. Later on, they started making the like sleeve with the little tray that would just slide in. Really cheap. But I had Double Dragon, and it was kind of in a box like this, and I gave it to my uncle or my cousin or something back because I got in a PlayStation. And for some reason I had this weird thing, like I wanted all my PlayStation carts to be the little ones, and you know how PlayStation had these different size carts and everything, and I just didn't really want the Double Dragon that was the bigger cart, which is the only one they made. But I didn't know that as a kid. So I gave it to my cousin, uncle, whatever, and it disappeared into the ages. But here's the game. It's in good shape. Looks like it's got a little pinkness on it. I don't know what that is. A little pink, like, sticky stuff right there. It's not gum. It's not, like, sticky. It's just stuck to the thing. Could be nail polish. Who knows? I've seen all sorts of shit on it. And it's got the inlay for the tray. Nice box. These are nice cardboard boxes. I don't mind buying the games in these type of cardboard boxes because these are quality boxes. Instruction booklet. full color. Not only that, there's a comic book in the first half of the instruction book. Look at that. Full color. You don't get that kind of shit anymore. And then the instruction book picks up. It's also full color. There's 37, 38 sheets of this instruction book. That's a fucking instruction book, not that flyer that came with the Arkham City. But I kept the receipt here for these 3 items. Sometimes I like to keep the receipt just so I can go, so on that date and time, I was in the store buying that game. Oh, that's kind of neat, you know. I don't know, I'm kind of weird like that. But Bubsy, I did not have this. I don't think I had it for Super Nintendo either, because I always wanted to get a box copy, and I think the ones that I saw were just shitty, you know, either torn up or loose or whatever, and I've just never bought it. But that one's in good shape, so $3.99, I was like, alright. The second thing, this is the second game I picked up, and then I'll show the movie last. Keeping with the Batman theme, I kind of looked at some different Batman games. They have a lot of animated Batman games, especially for like the last gen. There's a lot of like Batman animated series, or you know, different. There was like 3 or 4 different ones: Batman Vengeance and Batman. I'm trying to remember. There was like 3 or 4. I'm pretty sure like 4 other animated Batman games. And then there was this one, and I decided to go ahead and pick it up. I might do a little bit of gameplay on it, but I know people have done gameplay on it. And that's the Batman Begins. I went ahead and got the Xbox version because it was $9.99. For some reason, this one was $9.99, the Xbox one. And the PlayStation 2 version, same game, was $16.99. It was $7 more expensive to get the PlayStation 2 version, and I couldn't tell a difference. If you all know if there's a difference between Batman Begins with PlayStation 2 and Xbox, and that's why there's a price difference, let me know. Because for one, it was $7 more expensive, and for 2, they had 3 copies of Batman Begins for the PlayStation 2, and they only had this 1 copy for the Xbox, but it was $7 cheaper. So I went in and picked it up. It looks graphically really good. I mean, I haven't played it, but I mean, I've seen some gameplay on it. But the graphic pictures on the back and stuff, and it looks to play very similarly, maybe, at least in premise, to Arkham Asylum. You might not have all those gadgets and stuff, but it seems like you have quite a bit of gadgets to pick from, and you can drive the tumbler and, you know, things like that. So I paid $9.99 for that. So last week I probably spent the most I'd spent on video games in a while. I had actually picked up the Bubsy, the Arkham City. I paid about I'm trying to remember, because it was the Game of the Year edition instead of the regular one. The regular one, I think they were selling for $15.99. I think it was like 23 something. I don't know. I think it was like 25, close to that with tax. And I don't know. I mean, I probably could have ordered it off the internet for maybe $17, $18, but with paying shipping, you know, I mean, it was a wash, really. I mean, it was like $1. You know, and sometimes when I have games in hand, it's a little different than, you know, wanting to wait around for it to be delivered, even if it's waiting 3 or 4 days. I mean, because actually I got that game on Thursday. I beat Arkham Asylum on Saturday and was able to play Arkham City on Sunday. So if I would have ordered it on Thursday, I guarantee I wouldn't have got it by Saturday afternoon unless I paid some crazy shipping fee that would have put it way above the price that I paid for it. So no point. Anyway, oh yeah, I got one thing left. I went ahead and picked this up. I do have a couple different versions of this, but I didn't have it on DVD. Decided to go ahead and pick it up. It's a classic, and it's zombies, and it is George Romero's Dawn of the Dead Special Edition. $8. I have it on Laserdisc, and I had it on VHS, but I had never picked it up for the DVD. I don't know why. I just never had. And when I picked it up for the Laserdisc, I was like, I should really get that on DVD sometime. And it's definitely worth it. If you like zombie flicks, Dawn of the Dead's one of the biggies. This is not the remake with Ving Rhames and the dude from fucking Modern Family. Alright, folks, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to do a couple of game reviews on a couple of games, and I think I got a question to ask y'all. So hopefully this week we'll have some vids to fill the void. And, you know, I wish I could do vids every day. I wish I had the time. I wish I had the content and everything else, but you all know how it is. So anyway, if you know anything about the Batman Begins game, why it's more expensive, let me know. If you think I should shave off this beard, let me know. If you think I should keep it, let me know. If you have any other opinions on any of the other games, let me know. Let me know if you liked them, if you beat them, you know, whatever. I'll try to answer you back, because that's kind of